Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 58 of my Agrarian Skies Hardcore Quest Let's Play. This game pack by Jadedcat is available on the Feed the Beast launcher. So, I set up all of these chunk loaders that you can see in the upper right-hand corner, and it is quickly running me out of mob essence. In fact, I am beyond out of mob essence. I currently have things shut off, and I'm down to 143 buckets. Problem is, I am quickly running out of LP, and once that gets down to 0, I'm going to be in some dire straits. So today, I need to build a better mob essence producer. But first things first. I've had a couple of suggestions for the sprinkler and the aqueous accumulator. I had it set up between episodes, but I figured I'd tear it down, show you how you can set this up very easily. So the sprinkler is just a redstone torch, some iron bars, and some iron. And if you plop it directly on top of an aqueous accumulator like this, it will provide the sprinkler with water. And it will start spraying water over everything, which will passively slightly increase growth rates and will cause grass and flowers and such to grow on the nearby soil. I have a handful of saplings, flowers, and trees and plants over here from having my sprinkler run between episodes. And if you want to speed things up even faster, you can dump a bunch of bone meal in there. Now, to make sure that I don't have horrible consequences, I'm going to grab a bunch of levers, and I'm going to dig down into the middle of each of these rituals. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go underneath, because that will be easier in the long run than digging down like that. Hopefully I can do this fast enough that I don't, have nausea happen, because nausea might be the worst thing ever in this game. Alright, so, if you apply a redstone signal to a master ritual stone, you will temporarily cancel that ritual. And I'm going to turn all of these rituals off temporarily, so that I can have the time that I need to set up a better mob essence production, so that I can always have my, what do you call it? The spawners running to continue producing life points, life essence, LP, whatever you call it. Whoa. I have no idea why I dropped out of the sky like that. Probably came too close to standing on top of something. So I can't quite hit all of them from underneath, but that should significantly slow the drain of LP, which it has. Not enough, though, so I'm going to have to hit a few of them from the top. And one of those is going to be directly underneath this sprinkler. Yes, I just set it up, but it's much more important to me that I never see that nausea effect. It is awful, and would make for a really terrible video. Okay. And then these three. And the reason I want to use a lever instead of just breaking the master ritual stone is it will cost less in the long run. Now, I am getting a little bit of block update lag. If I COFH TPS, I can see that my nether is getting chock full of hellfish again, so I'm going to have to go take care of that. Which is going to be a little bit more dangerous when I'm this low on LP. That's a problem. Anyway, it's, I think that what's going to have to happen is I do my warp book and then fly the heck away and wait for things to despawn. Because if I'm a couple hundred blocks this way, everything should start slowly despawning. Yep. That was pretty much all it took. Fantastic. Alright. So, why am I running so low on mob essence? Well, the problem is that my mob spawner and the grinders don't work when I'm offline. And I've been offline for about 36 hours at this point. When I wasn't running this on a server with everything chunk loaded, it wasn't a problem because it was only staying loaded when I was going to the nether. Otherwise, it would shut down with me. Now that I'm leaving it chunk loaded overnight, it's becoming an issue. So how am I going to solve this issue? Well, there's a couple of options. I could build another mob spawner with grinders, just like you see in the nether, using this cursed earth. And that would run all the time. The reason you want it in the nether specifically is in case you are playing on a server with other people. That way, if no one's in the nether, it'll keep running all the time. If someone is in the nether, though, the mobs will instantly despawn because they're over 100 blocks away from them, most likely. And that's why you don't want to just set up cursed earth down in here, is because if you are on a server with anyone else, if they're more than 100 blocks away, the mobs will spawn and instantly despawn before the monsters can kill them, and your cursed earth grinder will be completely ineffective. It would work for me, but I want to show you a solution that will work for everyone, no matter what. As long as it's in a loaded chunk, it will produce mob essence, and it does not rely on spawns. So let me get the materials together that I need to create this system, and I will be right back. So my system that will provide me with endless amounts of mob essence no matter where I am and no matter where any other players are is going to be a multi-stage process. And I'm not going to show you the whole process up front. I want you to come with me through it and see each step along the way, not knowing quite what it's going to be. Try something new here. Step 1, I'm going to need to get the proper sapling. And to get that sapling, I need to get myself some topiary grass, which is made with 4 seeds and 1 dirt. Yes, I'm trying to produce dirt for other things, but this will be worth it in the end. So I'm going to get myself one of these. I'm going to go downstairs, where I have a bit of a sieve system set up, just a very basic one. Oh, you know what? I need a vacuum hopper for this guy, don't I? That would be best. But as you can see, it's already starting to work through the topiary grass, and that's sieving into natura bushes. These will only provide the overworld bushes for me. What I'm looking for is the Amaranth sapling, which is required for one of the quests. Let me look up which one. I think the purple quest for the hoarding. Yes, I need 100,000 Amaranth planks. So I'm going to let this run for a while, get myself an Amaranth sapling, and once I have that, I'll be back to show you what's next. Here we go, folks. Spent some time cleaning up my lawn, let the system run for a while. Got a bunch of bushes, some sakura saplings, 2 maples, 2 silverbell, a tigerwood, and what I was looking for, the Amaranth sapling. Now, I wish that I could just throw this guy into my MFR system, one of my planters, set the fertilizer on it, and let it go to town. But I can't, and I'm going to show you why. So if I come over to this harvester here, and it's, you know, it's got the upgrade and everything. I set it down, I bone meal this to grow, and no matter how much I wait, it's just not going to harvest that. Or maybe it will. Maybe it's the planting that it has the trouble with. Hang on. Okay, so it's harvesting it no problem. But is it the planting that it can't do? I toss in 5 Amaranth samplings into the planter. Well, they're not going anywhere. There's plenty of room for them, but it's not doing anything. So I can harvest with the harvester, but I cannot plant them with the planter. So I need a different method. I've got a couple of options here, but since I haven't done a whole lot with it, I think that I'm going to use Thaumcraft. And I'm going to do the entire tree farm with Thaumcraft, which is why I was cleaning up my lawn out here. Well, not the entire tree farm, but for the most part, I'm going to be using Thaumcraft to make my trees happen. And the whole reason that I'm doing this is almost a kind of a sideshow, because I need to finish that quest. I need those 10,000 planks. Hang on, just finishing cleaning things up here. So, why not, as long as I'm going to be using natura trees for anything, use them for this. And the way I was thinking of doing this was setting up a couple of golems to manage my saplings. Now, let me show you in the Thaumonomicon what golems I'm going to be using. To plant the saplings, I intend to use a use golem. Like, it will be able to, as it says, like the empty core, golems fitted with this core will remove items from an attached inventory, but instead of placing it in inventory or dropping it in the world, they will attempt to use it on a target block or location. So I'm going to make myself a handful of these use cores. Humanus, Instrumentum, and Machina are all aspects that I believe you've seen me get. But if you haven't, I'll show you how to find what aspect you need again. All you need to do is go into the book, I look at Machina, and I see, hey look, Redstone's got some Machina. Awesome. So if I pull out a bunch of redstone and cook that down, I will have myself a pile of Machina, and I will be ready to proceed. And this guy will go fill up the relevant jars. I think I need to put one down in the world for Machina. Just to show you, once again, how the whole process works, so you don't need to worry about me, I don't know, doing things illegitimately. There was a question about me cheating recently, and I want to show you that I do indeed know how to do this. Alright. So I'm going to get that golem set up off screen. I have plenty of golems in my chest from a guaranteed quest. Probably just use wood golems for this because I don't need them to move particularly fast. And I'm also going to be using a chop golem to actually do the harvesting. And this guy uses the Axe of the Stream, which is another fusion craft that I've learned, which is a thaumium axe with some water shards, diamond, great wood. You can look all these up fairly easily. So, once I have my golems and my cores together, and I'm ready to set the whole system up, I'll be back. Alright, got enough Thaumcraft done for one day. Decided to make myself a flesh golem and to use advanced golems instead of using the wooden golem and the default thaumium golem, because I have access to the technology. I should. That's probably a bad reason to do things, but oh well. Alright, I'm going to need myself an interface. I also made myself another Axe of the Stream, because it's a really cool item, and I want to have one enchanted and hanging around. I think it's even cooler than the Flux Infused Axe. It does things differently, and in my opinion, better. I'm running low on covered cable. A couple of people have been asking me in comments over and over and over why I use covered cable. No good reason. I think it looks cool, that's all. I prefer that look to the default. Okay, you are going to keep Amaranth saplings and bone meal. How about a full stack of bone meal? That'd be good. Someone told me I could... Okay, so with a whole bunch of clicking, I can tell... No. Seems kind of derpy. Doesn't really want to work. That's okay. Alright. So, Flesh Golem is going to get set down, attached to that inventory. And I'm going to attach the use core to it. And I'm going to tell it Amaranth first. Hopefully it'll be bright enough to do that. And I'm going to put an Amaranth sapling in there. And then I'm going to click on... Whoops, that was the wrong button. Going to right-click the golem, and I'm going to tell it, oh, there. There's a good spot. I like that spot. So. No. Use on empty space. Hang on. This should be working. Alright, so after a fair bit of poking at this guy, I have not used golems extensively since TC3, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm having some difficulties. I've decided that if I want to bone meal these things, I'm going to need a second use golem. So I'll go make myself one of those in a moment. In the meantime, though, I do have him set up to stand on top of the block and derp around a bit. Okay. What are you doing, guy? Here. Come here. Actually, we're going to shift left click and we're going to reset this guy entirely. Alright, so that puts him down into the world. And now I attach the use core. and he'll grab these saplings out of there because that's what he's been told to use. And he can only carry 4 at a time because he's just a flesh golem. And I'm going to now right-click on him, and I'm going to tell him to plant those saplings. Well, we'll go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. There. And there. And he should keep those 4 saplings planted at all times. I must have screwed him up a little bit when I tried to do too many things at the same time. Now, I'm going to set my Thaumium Golem right in the center of these. And I'm going to give him both the Golem Animation Core Chop and 1 Strength upgrade just to speed him up, because the chopped golems move faster based on their upgrades. And being a Thaumium Golem, it looks like he can support 3 upgrades, which I thought that the advanced golems could only support 2. That guy, well, no, he looks like he has 3 upgrade slots as well. Who knows? Anyway, if I grow that tree, he should spot it in just a moment. Well, or maybe I need to right-click him and tell him to take care of that tree. Or maybe I'm completely wasting my time and Thaumcraft golems can't handle... Alright. I am confused. So, he's happily taking care of these trees over here, but not the 2 behind him. There he goes. I just needed a little bit of time to figure out what he was doing, I guess. Now, because he's using the code from the Axe of the Stream, as soon as the tree gets cut down fully, the leaves start to disappear in a rather rapid manner. Not super quickly, though. You know what? Doing this all with Thaumcraft would be elegant and fun, but it's time to iterate. Like, I like this setup, I really do, but I can do better. Hang on, I've got a great idea. Back soon. Alright, so I'm kind of reinventing the farm here, but I've made myself a second Golem Animation Core of Use type, and I'm going to be using that on my Thaumium Golem instead of the Chop, and I'm going to be cutting things down with the Harvester. And I've got a very good reason for wanting to use the Harvester instead. I'm also going to tell my Flesh Golem to have the Earth upgrade so that he can transport a little bit more, a little bit easier. And I'm going to tell the Thaumium Golem to stick with the Bone Meal. Now, I want my Flesh Golem. I didn't want my Flesh Golem to do that. That's okay. I want him standing there anyway. Alright. And you're still set to Amaranth saplings? No, you were set to whatever you can find. They lose their filtering settings when you pick them up, but they do not lose their upgrades. Okay, so I want my Flesh Golem to plant here, there, I actually need to make sure I rein this in a bit. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Not there. Oh boy. Careful with configuring these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. I'm going to have a handful of saplings planted in what should be a fairly leaf-efficient manner. And that should be pretty good for the Harvester. The Harvester with the tin upgrade should be able to handle that, no problem. And now, let's see if the Bone Meal plan works, where I can tell my Thaumium Golem to use Bone Meal on these saplings. Yes, I can. Awesome. And there we go. Magical farming. Harvester's happily sucking up all of the amaranth wood and such, And because it will work from the top down, yes, yes. As soon as one tree finishes, it will start on the next, which is awesome. All right. So I'm going to let this run long enough to get myself a few stacks of amaranth saplings gathered up, and then I'll be back to show you the next stage of the process. I have about an extra stack worth of amaranth saplings saved up now, and you can see that things are going very quickly. I am over 600 amaranth wood. I need about 17,000 amaranth wood to complete the quest, so this is going to need to run for a while. But phase 2, well no, this is phase 3 or 4, I don't know. The next phase of the essence plan, which uses these, is to change this guy over to sheer leaves. I need amaranth leaves. They are called amaranth leaves. Let's see, can this thing actually shear them? It doesn't seem to be functioning quite properly. I'm gaining wood, but no saplings. I'm gaining tiger leaves. That's a little weird. I'm sure that that's just a bit of a data bug going on. Maybe. Hang on. Yeah, I'm gaining tiger leaves instead of the proper one, which is strange, but that's okay. I just needed natura leaves, and these leaves are definitely from natura. So, if I go downstairs, and I put these natura leaves into my system, I mean into my sieve, they should start working. They're not working in the sieve. Hang on. They're supposed to work in the sieve. I think I need to do these by hand. Okay, so the MFR shearing leaves function, not very happy with natura. That's an issue. That's okay. I can do them by hand. That's not a problem. Can these go into barrels, though, so that I can at least use up what I... No, these things are junk. Okay. I am sad, but I will survive. Let me just clean this up. I'm going to toss these into the trash can. And let me grab myself what I need to get a whole bunch of the... Well, actually, no, I have what I need. Because this guy will work as shears. So, fly up here. Sure. And now I'm getting amaranth leaves as proper. So, this will go a lot faster when I go make myself a new fluxed infused sickle, but I just wanted to show you why I'm doing this really quick. You can put natura leaves, the ones that aren't horribly broken and wrong, into the sieve thanks to X Aliquo, the add-on mod for X Nihilo. And when they sieve up, they give bushes. And all of the drops from these leaves are fairly rare, so you need a lot of them. But as you can see, I gained some blackberries. Yay! And I've gained some mallow berries. Eventually, I will get some... hang on a second. I need to go reference things because I was expecting bushes out of this. And eventually, especially the essence berry bush, I may have done something very wrong. Well, there's a fairly large derp on my part, so the bush that I'm looking for does not come from the natura trees at all. So I guess that whole amaranth setup that I put together, useful, but not actually what I needed. To get the essence bushes, you just need to sieve stone. Plain old regular smooth stone. And I have a system that's creating a lot of it. I will eventually get all kinds of ore berry bushes and the essence berry bush out of this. The reason I made this mistake when I was referencing and doing my research, I assumed that the essence berry bushes were part of natura overworld bushes, and you get those from doing the sort of sieving that I was just doing. And I have plans to use the essence berry bush. So I'm going to let this guy run while I go do laundry. And when I come back in a couple of hours and I've burned through a whole lot of stone, I should have some oreberry or essence berry bushes to show for it. And then I can show you the final phase of this project. Alright, it actually didn't take nearly as long as I thought. I've burned through maybe 500 stone at this point, and I have myself 5 of the essence berry bush. So, what I'm going to do with those, I'm going to take those downstairs, and I have a little area prepared for them. And I've got some plans to make this go even faster later, but right now all that's going to happen is this guy's going to be set up to send fluid and nothing else on default. And the sewer right next to it will be able to collect the essence. Now, how that's going to work, I'm going to put down, well, here. Let me put down the essence berries. They're going to need some time to grow. But to make that go a little faster, I'm actually going to go steal one of my lamps and the mirror for, well, a couple of my lamps and the mirror to get this whole process started. And eventually, I'm going to set up another mirror and a bunch more lamps in that area to make it go really fast. Huh. Seem to have lost one of my lamps of growth at some point. That's okay. I'm going to make more later anyway. No problem. So, just going to set these up in a, horrible, ugly pattern for right now. Never mind. I can put them out. By the way, essence berry bushes, they hate you and want you to die. So don't step on them. There we go. And if you're wondering about the precise configuration of the room, you might notice that it's a 7x7. And that there's a certain 3x3 process that I've been using lately. In any case, these lamps of growth will increase the growth ticks around here considerably. So I'm going to give those essence berries some time to grow. And once they have, then I'll be back to show you the final. So folks, on further investigation, I was interested to learn that the ritual of the Green Grove does not affect blocks up to 2 spaces above it. It affects plants exactly 2 spaces above it. Which means my initial plan of having the essence berries stacked too high is no longer the plan. Instead, they are going to be arranged in that pattern directly on top in the area of the ritual of the Green Grove. And as you can see, that will allow them to grow rather rapidly between those and the lamps of growth. Now, I'm going to be harvesting them by way of autonomous activator, as you've likely seen in other videos, but you have not seen in mine. And these will simply continuously right-click on the berries if I, position them properly. There we go. And I don't know what just dropped and got picked up. That's weird. It keeps making a dropped item noise. But I don't seem to actually be picking anything up. And I am slowly gaining experience. So if I back off enough to let the sewer pick up the experience and give it just a little while, we'll come back on that in a moment and check the sewer to make sure it's gaining mob essence. See, I forgot that I already had the Tesseract activated. It's gaining mob essence quite quickly, actually. So the way I have the sewer configured, it's just one in the center, and I threw a platinum upgrade in there because I had one lying around from forever ago. And now if I go back upstairs and I take a look at my mob essence, it should be flowing in nicely. Beyond what I'm making off of my grinder at the moment. Now, it will just have to be an experiment to see if the 28 essence berry bushes supported by the ritual of the Green Grove will be enough. Actually, 28 might be a bit of a stretch. No, I can make it happen because actually I can fit 36 in here because I can always put the autonomous activators on top of the essence berry bush facing downward. Yes, that will work out nicely. Okay, so 36 essence berry bushes will just take time because they don't self-propagate. I have to wait until I get them. But once I do, I'm also going to need to make more autonomous activators. That's okay. There we go. Simple as that. Fantastic. I like systems that are simple in execution. So yeah, that whole Amaranth sapling thing was a red herring, a complete mistake on my part, and a really neat system. By the way, I upgraded my golems with the appropriate accessories because fezzes and bow ties are cool. You can research fezzes and bow ties down here from Golemancy, down to the lower right. And tiny fezzes are just wool, string, terra, aqua. They make things regen faster. Tiny bow ties are string, black wool, air, and ordo, and they make things move faster. I also gave them a couple of extra upgrades in the strength and air department so that they now have, in the earth and air department, so they're all moving fast and carrying lots of items, and this tree farm is going quite well. If I take a look at my Amaranth collection, I am almost, I'm about 33% of the way towards getting all of the wood that I need for Amaranth, and this has been running for maybe an hour maximum. Yeah. So this is your answer to how to complete the Purple Heartwood portion of the Purple Madness quest. Or, not Purple Madness. It's named something else, isn't it? Purple Madness. Hey, I was right in one. Okay, one other thing. Between episodes, actually within 8 hours, that soul sand producer created over 11,000 soul sand. So, it's time to set this guy up to hand that in. And you soul sound, select task. And that'll take a little while for it all to transfer into the QDS. And when I come back next episode, I'll be able to hand that in. Won't take very long at all. So, that's going to be all the time that I have for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I really had a lot of fun putting together the golems, and I want to do a little bit more with them sometime if I can find a good use for them. Next time, I'm going to be focusing on finishing up the Even More Storage quest and making certain that I actually have enough mob essence to have everything running and not worry. I'm also going to improve my blood magic blood collector, because the villagers are cool, but I have an idea for something better. If you've enjoyed the episode, please leave a thumbs up, tell me why. If you're not enjoying things, leave a thumbs down, tell me what I can do better. And I will see you next time.